Went to 2 different flea markets this weekend. This is what I got. I got this for 15 bucks. It was labeled at 20, but your boy is a wheeler and a dealer, and I got it for 15. It is an Okuma Avenger AV3000 spinning reel, new in clamshell. This is worth, I would guess, around 50. Who knows? I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to use it. Here's a box of Marabou crappie jigs that I got for 5 bucks. In my last video, I talked about fishing stuff. These do not have all that much resale value, but they are Earth's greatest lure, and I use them all the time, which is a great fishing tip that you didn't come to this video for. If you are a bass fisherman, try the Humble Marabou jig. Nobody else uses them. Everybody's too cool to use them, and they catch more fish than anything. Same with these inline spinners. Everybody's too much of a big badass to use the stuff that caught them fish when they were kids. And it's also the cheapest and most effective stuff. I may be able to offset the cost of this by selling these old vintage hard baits. This is called a jitterbug. It's a perennial favorite, still being made. There's a market for them. These may not have that much demand for them. These are, I think, called quick fish. No, these are lazy ikes. So a very famous lure that nobody uses anymore. They're not in that great of shape. If nobody wants them on eBay, I might just try them myself. Here is a book that the guy gave me for free. It is not in very good condition. I haven't looked it up. I don't know if it's worth anything here. Herbs, the Magic Healers. Paul Twitchell started Eckankar, which is, I don't want to be libelous, so it's definitely not a cult that is locally based, and his books tend to sell pretty well. Let me look it up right now, actually. Just look this up on eBay. It's worth nothing at all. This was laying out for free. These old auto manuals actually can be worth some good money. Let me try to look this up. I can't find this exact one. It might be worth 20 to 30 bucks. A DVD, I think I must have gotten for about $1. I can't imagine I would have paid more than that. It's a collection of 3 Kung Fu movies. Kung Fu movies are one of those categories of movie that actually has some kind of a cult following, and certain Kung Fu movies can be worth quite a bit. Same with these 2. These are Super Friends DVDs. I think these are worth about 15 each. I'll sell them in a lot, probably for 25. I got them for $1 each. I was rummaging around in a box of clothing and I saw this. It's from the Limited, and it's a wool sweater with all these spangles, and it has these runners made of rabbit fur, which is a very desirable material for fly tying, which is something that I do. I tie flies as well as jigs, the lure that I showed you earlier with the puffy tails. So this has bleach stains on it, and I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to harvest as much as I can out of this to make my own jigs. I was actually in a walk on that because of the bleach stains, and the guy, as I was walking away, said that he was going to give me the whole box of clothing for 3 bucks because he wanted to get rid of it. It wasn't that box. It was this box, and about that much is old rags and dish towels and such, which I'm not bothering with. But there were a couple things in there that definitely will offset the $3 buy cost. This may not be one of them. I just noticed a big stain in the collar. That's Columbia. If there wasn't a stain on it, I would sell that, but there it is. So that's getting discarded. There's this Style & Co. Sport hoodie jacket. This, if it's worth anything, is not going to be worth more than like probably 11 or 12 bucks. I'm going to look it up to see if it's even worth bothering with. Here is a truly ass brand, St. John's Bay, but it's cargo shorts and have nice big stains on them, so that's getting discarded. Among the assiest of brands, Faded Glory. Would never touch it other than this kind of a circumstance. Might not even bother listing these. These are like capri jeans. I could maybe get away with calling these cargo jeans, but not really. Oh, thank God there's a stain there, so I don't have to bother with it. Another St. John's Bay. It's a zip-up collared jacket. Or, yeah, it's a full zip canvas jacket. I should be able to flip that for like 15, maybe 20. The rest of this I got for, there was one big pile of clothing. That's a good tip. If you're at a flea market, the good deals are in the piles of clothing, the mountains of clothing, not in the stuff that's hung up on hangers usually, which people want to gouge price at whatever, 5 bucks. It's not gouge pricing, but the sweet deals are in the piles. This is a pair of leggings. I think this was in the 5 pieces for $1 section. And it's Nike. Really basic leggings, probably not worth all that much. Probably will list these for around 13. This is a romper, a one-piece romper. Old navy. Would not pick it up unless it was something like this, unless I got it for really cheap. And it's a linen viscose blend. The fabric felt a little nicer. This was sitting out free, just on the ground next to somebody's booth, which I confirmed. I didn't just grab it, I asked the guy, so it was free. So I don't know if that's a brand Newport Blue. I kind of recognize it's vintage, and someone is gonna pay me 25, 30 bucks for that. Another 5 for a buck pile thing, that's American Eagle, just a basic pair of athletic leggings slash yoga pants. Can never really tell the difference between those two. Here's another romper that also somehow is an extra small, mysteriously, and it's from a brand called Lulu's, that my understanding is just an okay brand. It is a blurry brand. Definitely not to be confused with Lululemon. This is a brand I've seen a lot. I didn't know it was worth anything until I saw this brought up on Kaylee Elaine's channel. She specializes in women's clothing. Worth taking a look if you are curious about women's clothing. And I don't know how much that's worth, maybe 15, 20, who knows. Kaylee does. A pair of stretch waist Zara pants. I avoid Zara unless I can get it for really, really good prices. Some people have pretty good luck with it. I found it middling. And I spent, I think, $3 on these. Pair of camo cargo shorts from Levi's. That was everything from Saturday. This is what I got today. These were 2 for $5. This is a one-piece bib overall cycling jersey, or bib jersey I think they're called, from Bontrager. I think this is a good brand. Let me look it up again. It should be worth at least 30 bucks. I really like selling cycling jerseys. This was the other half of the 2 for $5 deal. It's a knit Free People sweater. Really solid women's bread and butter brand. Free People. Interesting pattern. The rest of these clothes were $1 each. Another pair of camo cargo shorts, kind of capri pant shorts from Torrid, which is not that great of a brand, but considering what it is, I figured it was worth risking $1 on, and it has ripstop fabric as well. That grid of lines, that's ripstop fabric. Should do pretty well on Poshmark. I'm guessing it's going to sell on Poshmark. It's a pair of interesting, that's not a pair of anything, that is a skirt. That's a skirt with hidden shorts lurking in the depths. It's Nike, XL, obviously women's, black, performance fabric, heavier performance fabric. May be able to find a style code, get a proper name. Oh, buddy. Chicago Bulls t-shirt from Adidas from this person. Worth $1 probably. New with tags, out of season Christmas t-shirt, official Peanuts, Snoopy. I may throw this in a box to sit on it until winter. I may just list it now. Got a couple of CDs that have been damaged now. This CD I got for 50 cents. It's a soundtrack to a Cartoon Network show. This one my friend Justine found for me. It is the soundtrack on CD to The Never Ending Story Part 3. Very rare apparently, and worth somewhere in the $30, $40 range. True to my word, I picked up some VHS tapes. This is the Kermit and Piggy story from the Muppets. Probably worth 15 or so. Gonzo Presents Muppet Weird Stuff. I think this is less common and worth more, probably 25, 30. May sell those in a lot together. Here is a new factory sealed copy of Schoolhouse Rock, Multiplication Rock on VHS. There are no new ones on eBay, so I'll have to look into that, see how much it's worth. I may wind up lotting it up with this Schoolhouse Rock, which is not new, Science Rock, and America Rock in the clamshell. And those I got for like $2, $3 each, I think. I got this old decrepit mask with a melted face for $1. The guy actually had the gumption to ask me for $3 for this. Got it for $1. Can you guess why? This is getting harvested to tie flies and jigs with. If you are a fly tire or a jig maker, if you're buying this stuff new from fly shops, you are grossly overpaying. This was exciting, actually. There was a whole table, 2 tables, laid out with a whole bunch of beer tap pulls or handles. I think both are synonymous. And they were $5 each. And these are a great niche. You don't find them all that often, but they're very, very collectible. And this is the kind of hard good that I don't mind selling because that's gonna fit in a padded flat rate, probably. Some are more collectible than others. This is a vintage Edelweiss. You can't really see it, it's a little bit blown out. There's some cracking here, but it's enameled wood, I think. No, that's ceramic. 5 should turn into potentially like 50 bucks. This is from Russian River Brewing. Fairly well-known, popular brewery. This should be worth potentially like 70 bucks or so. Did not bother to look this one up. It's from Ballast Point and it's very eye-catching. It has marlins on it. Black Marlin Porter. Ballast Point is a local brewery that's very popular. So that should be worth around 50. Just a wild stab in the dark. Finally, I got 4 from Stone, a local craft brewery that makes completely revolting IPAs, but very popular. Used to be more popular. I find their clothing quite a bit and it's an okay seller. I should be able to lot these up and sell them for, I would guess, around 100 bucks for all 4. And I got a whole lot of books. This is a manual. I've not looked it up. It's a vintage car manual that I got for 50 cents, or rather my friend got for me. These repair manuals, it can be scarce, can be worth money. Also, some pamphlet for Carlsbad Caverns that's vintage. If that's worth something, it's probably worth like 20 bucks. This one's for me. War of the Worlds, The Resurrection, a sequel to the H.G. Wells book. Red Dwarf, Better Than Life, novelization from the BBC comedy. Used to love this when I was a kid. In the last video, I flashed the first of these books in the Cyborg series up on the screen. I flipped it for 40 bucks. I don't know if this is gonna be worth quite as much, probably not. This is what the $1 Billion Man was based on, or $1 Million Man? Yeah, $1 Million Man, 6 million. 6 millions. The Book of Skulls by Robert Silverberg, one of my favorite authors. Book that I was looking for, E.E. Doc Smith, Interplanetary. This is the first in the Lensman series, which is apparently required reading. Another copy of The Wind Whales of Ishmael, Philip Jose Farmer, which is now part of Thrift of Life book lore, because this, a different printing of this was in a book haul video from way back from this same flea market that wound up precipitating me starting a book channel. If you are interested at all in genre literature, I have a book channel called Book Build. It's mostly about reading and reviewing books, a little bit about selling books. There will be a link in the description. And today we choose Faces by Roger Zelazny, an author I just read for the first time and really liked it. I think this is a UK binding. Yep, you can just tell a UK binding after a while. And finally, vintage copy of Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. Jules Verne, who I criminally have not read. Read a lot of Wells, whom I adore, have not read as much from Verne. I didn't go to these flea markets with the real intention of having them be sourcing trips. They were more social trips, but it's nice to be a reseller and be able to go get some cool stuff that pays for itself, you know?